to this. Welcome to today's class. In the previous lesson, when we were talking about, we said that we will introduce structured programming today, and so here we are, and we will specifically look at control structures, and also specifically in the C programming language, Java, C++, Python. There are control structures that are implemented in those languages, but in our lesson today, we are specifically looking at the C programming language. Okay, so what is control structure? So control structures are like instructions or statements that allow the code that is written by the programmer to take a certain path. So let's say if you want to implement an idea or a concept, you have these structures or statements that guide in how you will maneuver to execute what you want or the task at hand. So in C programming, they are used to specify the order of execution of the instructions present in a program. And someone can ask you, why do we use these statements, or why control structures, or why control statements? So the use in a program is to make it possible for a program to make certain decisions and perform various tasks repeatedly, or even skip from one section of code to another section, basing on what the programmer wants, or basing on the desired outcome. And we've got the common control statements we have a list of a few here. There are 5, and we have got if statements, switch statement, conditional operator statements, go to statement, and the loop. So we will look at if statements. We will see what it is and how it's used mostly. So this type of statement enables the programmer to choose various instruction sets on the basis of the available condition. So the instruction sets will only get executed when the evaluation of the condition turns out to be true. So in case the evaluation of the condition is false, then there will be execution of a different instruction set. So it's if this if this, yes, or else something else. So if it's not this, it's the other option. So it's like a 50-50 split, like it's me or you. And then the example that's easy to understand is like the one on the screen. So you can see that the variable integer is an integer and its height. So you input your height. So if you are, let's say it's in centimeters. So if the height is greater or equal to 160 centimeters, then the condition is that you are qualified. So now that is true, like it's true for what is being tested. Now else, the opposite condition is that not qualified, which will be false. So it's like, yeah, it's actually 50-50. And then there's the nested if. And now the difference between the if statement and the nested if is that for nested if is an if within another if. So you have the syntax right here. Condition, if condition, then you have your statement. Else you have another statement, or you have another if else statement on the next side. So as you can see that in this case, the condition available in the next statement, which is the second statement, will only get evaluated if the evaluation of the condition available in the first statement turns out to be true. So this will occur throughout the program, that as a nested statement until what is required is attained. And an example will be like this age example that I've used here. So if age is greater, like you can't have 0 age, so but 1 and above, you have got the candidate is a baby. But then we know that in real life, like the candidate is a toddler. If they are under 4 years, they're just like walking, yeah, or learning how to speak. Yeah, those are toddlers. So under 18, the candidate is not an adult, but they are like bigger or like taller, or they understand better. And then under 50, now that is an adult. So you will see that 50 is greater than 18, but yeah, so it's like that. So it's there are conditions that are covered in other conditions, like it's not 50-50, but a series of conditions that have to be met. And then there's an else if ladder, and this one, like your condition is pushed down to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, until it meets some requirements. So requirement after requirement. So in this statement, the execution of an array of instructions occurs only when the available condition is correct. So a perfect example that I thought of was like in the exams, your score is greater or equal to 85. Now you have an A, and 65. That's now a B plus. Else if so, if your marks in the system are not 80, you will be pushed down to test on the next requirement, and like that and like that. Or else now you will have a fail, and now you have to redo. Yeah, so that's also very clear. And then we've got the switch statement. Now the C language offers its users with a selection statement in various ways in case a program becomes difficult to read with an increased number of conditions. So a switch statement is a multi-way type of selection statement that will resolve this issue. So the switch declaration comes into play when more than 3 alternatives exist in a program. This command then switches between all the available blocks on the basis of the expression value. Then each block has a corresponding value to it. That's the syntax statement of switch. You have a switch statement with its expression, and then you have a specific case attached to it and a statement for that case. And then you break that block, and then you go to another case, and then you can break it to another one. And now if you have another statement to pair with the other one, you also do the same. So this is a bit complex. You cannot implement it with the if else alone, or you cannot implement it as a nested if else statement, but as a switch statement, because you need to move from condition to condition in a broad range of possibilities or expected outcomes. And then loop statements. I think this is good. We mentioned in our previous class about the do while loop, even though it was to come in control structures. And in this one, a programmer in C might want to repeat any set of instructions or certain statements in the program to meet the necessary requirements. So in such instances, it becomes difficult to write and repeat everything, because you might have a lot of scenarios to go through. So it's exactly why we would like to create loops using the looping declarations. So you've got 3 loop control statements. So the do while loop, the while loop, and the for loop. The for loop is mostly used in this like lotto games and this gaming applications or gaming concepts where you have like limited chances to execute your requirement. So you like for this number of tries, uh, you get this, or for this number of tries you have failed, you can't continue. So that the loop statements control like the number of times you can do something, and as you approach the result. So now we've got a, a link to the do while loop, the while loop, and the for loop. So you will look at these loop statements, and that is my first assignment to you guys. And now we have got a practice problem. This problem, you will only solve it when you go down to the slides and you download and install code blocks. I have shared the link, and when it's actually free. So you follow this link and then you download, install and download it, and after that you will be able to now come and work on this problem. And remember, it will now guide you as you look at the control statements and the do while loop and the for loop. So in yeah, so that's the assignment. You write a program in C to output the solution to this problem. So thank you very much for patiently listening to this presentation. And now you can talk to me. Hey, Meshach, Esha, anything, any comment as we wind up? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Any question on those on what I just said, guys?
No, just the topic was well covered.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the content.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate, and yeah, thank you. Make sure you go through you download code blocks and understand the concepts even better. Okay, Esha, any comment?
Okay, Mwalimu, thank you. We've understood the topic very well. We've talked about the loops,
Yes.
the for loop, the do loop. We've also talked about the control
Okay.
structure, if then
Mhm.
else, the switch. I've also seen the nested if. So I
Mhm.
think the lesson was well covered.
Okay,
We
so
will.
thank you for your time, and we shall meet in the next class.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mwalimu.
Okay, you can end the meeting.